This because I'm going to a Pink Sweats concert. Honestly, I made it because I saw it on Pinterest, which is like the whole point of this video, making a Pinterest sweater. But it just was perfect because I was going to a Pink Sweats concert. I was like, oh my god, let me wear it there. Let me wear it there. And look at her. She's so beautiful. Like, this whole sweater, when I was making it, I was just like, girlhood. I'm beautiful. I'm a queen. Barbie, Barbie, Barbie. And like, it's just amazing. But honestly, I would not be surprised if I made this in like purple, light purple, dark purple, light blue, dark blue, light green. Like, I would make a million of these. And I might. You might just see me like, Bella, come on. It's enough. Let's get into this tutorial. I used weight for yarn around 1600 yards, 800 for each. You do use more of the lighter color than the darker color, but this is still a good number. I used a 6.5 millimeter hook. It gave me the texture I wanted. And optional, you can use stitch markers and a sewing needle. I didn't because I left everything at home. But you do need scissors too. You're going to start by chaining the width of the front panel that you want. I did 70, and I start with the lighter color. Whatever color you're using for this, that's what I start with, the lighter one. And this is just going to be how wide you want the front to be. Now you're going to half double crochet in each chain. I do an extra chain before each row just to turn my work, so that's what you see me do there. But you don't have to. I think it still looks the same without it. But you can see I'm half double crocheting down in each chain, down for the whole row. Once you're finished that row, half double crochet in each of the stitches. So you're going to do this for a total of 5 half double crochet rows. So since we already finished the first one, you just need to repeat half double crochets for 4 more rows. And that's going to basically be how many rows we're going to do each stripe in this entire sweater. It's going to just be 5 half double crochet rows for each stripe. When switching colors for the stripe, you can see I just cut my yarn and then tie a knot. You don't want it too long or too short because you want to be able to still be able to pull it and hold on to it. But I'm going to take the second color, my dark pink, and make a slip knot. Once you made the slip knot, you're going to take the dark pink yarn and just insert your hook and then pull. You're going to insert your hook until the light pink and then pull the dark pink one through. And then you're going to chain 2 because that's the height of a triple crochet, so it helps with turning the rows. And we're just going to be doing triple crochet in each stitch for 3 rows. So for triple crochet, you just yarn over twice and then pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. And you're just going to repeat this for 2 rows before we go back to the light pink again. Now you want to go back to the first color you started with, and I just chain 1 to start my row, and we're going to do the half double crochets, 5 rows of them like we did in the beginning, and you're going to keep repeating this pattern until you have the height that you want. It's going to go to wherever you want to start the neckline. I did 4 dark pink lines, say lines, it really means stripes, and then 5 light pink ones. And I like to end with the light pink because that's the color that I made the whole neck with. So that's what I ended with. So for the width of my neck, so I started with 70 stitches, and I want the width to be around 15, so of the neck part. So I did 70 minus 15, which is 55, and then divided 55 by 2, because we're only going to be working on like one shoulder at a time. So now I'm only going to crochet 28, because I want an even number, and I feel like it would be nice that I just went to 28. So you can either go down or up, it's not going to really affect it, but you're just going to half double crochet that number that you came up with your calculations. But if it's the same as mine, just 28, I'm just doing half double crochets. Once you get to that last stitch, you're just going to do a half double crochet as normal, but instead of pulling through the 3, you're just going to dip into the next one and have 4 loops and then pull through all 4. So that's ending this row with a decrease, and the next row you want to start with the increase so that they're on the same side, and it creates like this diagonal for the neck, bringing it up. So this row you're going to start with the decrease, so you yarn over and then have 3, and then you want to go into the next stitch and pull through 4. Then half double crochet down the rest of the row. The row after that, you're going to half double crochet and then decrease the last 2 together. The row after that, you're going to decrease the first 2 stitches together. So you're just going to have 4 rows that have the decreases in them. Your panel should look something like this, where it's starting to lean and be diagonal towards one side, so creating the little U V shape for the neckline. So now that we did the 4 rows with the decreases, we're going to do 4 regular half double crochets for 4 rows. You finished one side, one shoulder of the front panel, so now you just have to repeat it for the other side, doing the same rows of decreases and then 4 regular rows. As you can see, you have the front panel all done. Now you're going to want to recreate this for the back panel, but you're going to change the neck. So we'll start off by making the body and creating the same amount of rows that we did in the beginning. So 4 purple's crazy, 4 dark pink and 5 light pink stripes, and then stopping there. So you can see I didn't start the neck part yet. Since this is the back part, you don't really need the U V-neck look for the back, so we're just going to do half double crochets regular rows. But instead of having the decreases, we're just going to start doing the number of half double crochets that we ended with on the front panel. So like after the decreases, those last 4 rows that you half double crocheted, that same number you're going to use to do 8 regular rows of half double crochet. So you can see I'm counting what I ended with, and that's what I'm going to start with. And you're going to do that for both sides. Now we have the front 2 panels done, yay! And we're going to line them up and sew them at the shoulders. So since it's the same number, it will be nice and easy to sew them together. I slip stitched because, like I said, I forgot everything back at college and I was home for the weekend. But you can sew with a sewing needle if you want here. But if you don't have that, that's okay too, because we're in this together. And I just line up the shoulders and sew along them. Now you open the piece up and we're going to start with the sleeves. So you can see it doesn't really matter which side you start on, it's going to be the same either way. But I know how wide I want my sleeve to be, but you can kind of count. So you're going to turn it on its side, and I want my sleeve to be 54. That's a good number for me. If you like that, look at my sweater and you can kind of base it off that, but an even number. And you're going to count each row that we previously crocheted as one row, as one stitch. So like we're going to be crocheting down the side. So from the center, since I did the number 54, I divided by that 2, which is 27, and I count that many rows. But you can see for the double crochet rows, those are going to count as 2 because they're wider than the half double crochets. So like each half double crochet row is 1, and then each double crochet is 2. So you can see I'm counting all the way to 27, which nicely landed on the beginning, around the beginning of the second dark pink stripe. So that's where I insert my hook next to it and start doing half double crochets all the way across. Honestly, if it works out nicely like this, I do suggest starting at like a place that has a stripe beginning or ending, because it's just easy to remember, and especially you don't have to count for the other side, because you know like, oh,
I'll just start in the same area. It's still good to count because sometimes you don't know if you're crocheting in the right spot. So I would just keep in mind like, oh, when I get to the halfway point, this should be 27. This should be half of the number I want my sleeve to start. But you can see I'm doing 2 half double crochets in each double crochet, and then I'm going to do 1. And I'm just going to do that all the way down. And this is going to be how wide my sleeve is going to be. And this is the beginning of our first pink stripe. So just like we did for the front and back panels, you're going to want to do 4 more rows of the half double crochet with the light pink and a total of 5 rows. Now you can switch to your triple crochets and do that for 2 rows. And then you can, I'd like to place it against me to see how many rows I want to do, but you're just going to keep repeating this. I do share later on how many of each stripe I did. But honestly, if you guys plan on putting this, I always suggest this for cardigans or sweaters or anything. If you plan on putting this in the dryer or steaming it, I suggest making the sleeve a little longer, because once you put acrylic yarn, or most yarn, I'm not really sure, I only use acrylic, but once you put it in the dryer, it stretches, and if you don't want them to be super long, then I suggest making it a little bit shorter. So you can see I did 4 dark pink stripes and then 5 light pink, and then I just repeat this same pattern that we did sorry, my boyfriend's foot, the same pattern that I did for the one sleeve for the other side. Unless you want 2 different sleeve lengths, then by all means, go ahead. Now we have this beautiful pink blob that is just a shawl. But what you're going to do, you see we have 4 sides. It's funny because the sleeves ended up being like the same size as the body, but it is what it is. And we're going to fold at the half point, which is basically where we sew the shoulders. That's going to be the top part of where our sweater is. I'm so used to saying cardigans. I don't think I made a sweater tutorial before, so I keep wanting to say that. But I folded in half, and now lining it up. It's nice that this lines up with stripes because you know what is supposed to be with what. Like, you don't have to guess because it's not all one color. So I fold the panels in half, and you're going to sew along this bottom of the sleeves and then the bottom of, or not the bottom, the side of the sweater, the front and back panel together. I know this is annoying, but I switched colors for each one because you'll be able to see it on the outside. If you really don't, I mean, only if people really look closely they'll see, but for each stripe I did switch the colors. So for light pink I sewed together with light pink yarn, and for dark pink I sewed together with dark pink, because then you can't see it. Once again, you can either slip stitch or sew together, whatever you prefer, it does not matter. But this is what you're going to do now, just going around each side and making sure they line up. Now our sweater is all sewn together, no more sewing needs to be done, and you're gonna still have the sweater on the wrong side out, so the side that you can see all the stitches and the loose ends and everything. And I like to mark which side is the back side, because honestly, once you start sewing, or once you start adding the ribbing and you start, even when you finish it and you put it on, you're not gonna remember. I mean, not that it really makes a difference, but you know, it's nice to know. So I just put a little bow on the back. Now we're going to single crochet all around the neck, in the front, the sides, and the back. Just single crochet in each little gap you can find. Now I did a decrease in every stitch, which is basically you pull through the first one and you pull through the second one and then you pull through 3. But honestly, when I first put it on, it was tight on my head, but once I got it over, I liked the way it fit on my neck. And I knew I was going to seam it later, so I was fine with that. But this would be a good time to try it on because it might be too tight. And then if that's the case, if it's too tight, you can just do a single crochet and then a decrease. Or if you want it super loose, you could, or even if that's too tight, you could do single crochet, decrease, or like just find the different measurements that's good for you. So once you've done that whole row of decrease and find the neck width, circumference that you want, you're going to chain 7. And this is where we're going to start to make the ribbing. I say 7 because we're only going to be doing 6 single crochets, but from the second chain from the hook, because I always like to add that extra chain, just because it's like a habit at this point. I don't even need to, but we're going to be single crocheting 6 stitches down. Now we're going to be working up and down instead of side to side, creating that ribbing look. And then once you get to the bottom, you're going to always slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. So you see I slip stitch in 1, and then I'm going to slip stitch in 1 more. Now you're going to work back up that single crochet row that we just made, but only in the back loop. So you see we have the V, there's a back part of the V, the one farthest from you. That's, you're only going to put it through 1 instead of the usual 2 that you do. And this is what we're going to be doing for the rest of the ribbing. You're going to chain 1 if you want to, turn your work. It keeps walking in my camera. Chain 1 and turn your work, and then single crochet down only in the back loop, and then slip stitch the next 2 stitches until you go all the way around and finish your ribbing. Once you get to the last row, you can just slip stitch it to the first row that you started with. You can slip stitch it regularly, or you can slip stitch it only in the back loop. Either one is fine. It looks good either way. And you can add this ribbing using the same effect if you want to add it to the sleeves. This is one of the first times I actually did it, and I really like the flowy look. I can't speak. The flowy look. But you can also add it to the bottom of the sweater too. But I didn't feel like doing any of that. But of course, it always looks nice. It's a nice little ribbing professional touch. And then you are done your beautiful, beautiful masterpiece.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm being serious. Send me if you made this. I would love to see this. Like, someone made this. I think nothing more would bring me joy. But I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please comment down below your favorite color. Like, a color that just is just beautiful. Because I realized today, like, I think this sweater validated, that's the word I was looking for, validated my love for pink. Because, like, if you're making it and it feels that good, like, it felt that good making this. I literally just, oh, it's just so nice. I literally love, I can't even say it because it's my own work, and you're like, wow, how can I say it? Like, she would love herself. Well, I am on video, but that's, but no, this sweater is my pride and joy. Straight off my Pinterest. If you guys enjoyed, please give me a like, subscribe, and yeah, this is just giving. Okay, one more thing. This is just giving like that. Oh, I'm not sure. This is giving like pink heart emoji. Like, this is just amazing. All right, have a great day.